Hi, I'm Andrea and I'm your Pilates instructor here at Grow. Before I start, I'd just like you to check with your healthcare practitioner that they're happy for you to start some Pilates moves. These are going to be beginners Pilates moves, which I'll take you through. I'm going to take you through a warm-up first, which is going to set you up perfectly for going into some of our beginners sessions. At the end of those sessions, you're going to feel invigorated. You're going to feel taller and stronger. And I know that you're going to be keen to come back and try some more of those beginners sessions that we've got lined up for you. After those sessions, when you feel confident, you may even want to move on to the intermediate level. I'm going to introduce you to breathing first, which is really good and really important within Pilates. And we'll incorporate that into our warm-up. So let's get going. I'm now going to introduce you to some warm-up moves for the Pilates classes, and at the end of this you will feel ready to move into one of those beginners sessions. We're going to talk about breathing first of all. It is important with Pilates, and as you go through different classes it will become much more natural, I promise. Some people do get a little bit worried to start with, but it really will become much more natural. Okay, so we breathe in through the nose, taking the air down to the bottom of the lungs, expanding the rib cage to the front and to the sides. And as we breathe out, you breathe out through pursed lips. And that just helps you engage your deepest core muscle, which is your transverse abdominis muscle. Big scary word, but we call it a TVA for short. Now, there are 4 layers of your abdominals, and that transverse abdominis muscle attaches at the front and at your spine. So it's a really good supporting corset for everything within, from our spine through our abdominals and everything there. So really, really good to breathe in and engage that transverse abdominis muscle, and then exhale through those pursed lips, feeling that contraction and a little lift up on the pelvic floor. So if you didn't know already, your core muscles, as we describe them, are like a box. And at the top you have your diaphragm, and at the bottom you have your pelvic floor. And that's why we also really work on our pelvic floor within Pilates as well. So you want to have a little contraction of that pelvic floor. I'm going to take you down, and we're going to incorporate some of the breathing into an imprint and release of the lumbar spine. So if you need a little block, you can have a block behind your head. I do. So you start with your spine neutral, which means you've got a lovely S shape in your spine. So you're going to inhale with your spine in neutral through the nose. Expand the rib cage. As you exhale, imprint your lumbar spine, and then come back. Inhale through the nose into the bottom of the lungs. Exhale, use your obliques to rock your pelvis back. We'll do that for a couple more times. So in through the nose, and exhale, imprint your lumbar spine. Okay, so we're just mobilizing our lumbar spine. So one more time. Inhale and exhale, rock it back just to get that spine moving. Lovely. I'm going to move on to something called hip release. I'm just going to move this way a little so you can see my legs. So this is just to warm up our hip sockets here. So as you inhale, let that left knee drop out to the side and straighten that leg away from you. And then you're going to drag it back in. Okay. Inhale, take the left away. Exhale, draw it back in. We're going to do 2 more on this side. You're keeping your hips nice and level, so you're having to use your abdominals here to do that, okay? Inhale, take that leg away. Exhale, take the leg in. Keep that right knee pointing up towards the ceiling the whole time, okay? Right, let's go on to the internal rotation. Now you're going to rotate your left knee in, pushing the foot away, open out that hip, and back up to the start position. Inhale the leg away, and exhale, draw that leg back up. 2 more on this leg. Inhale. I like to put my hands on my hips here because it helps me make sure I'm keeping them nice and flat and level. And you're having to use your tummy muscles to do that. So we're working our core here. Switching over legs. Drop the right knee out. Push the foot away. And then draw it back in. Inhale, that leg away. Exhale, draw it back in. 2 more before we rotate that leg in. So exhale, back in. 1 more. Inhaling, taking that nice air down to the bottom of the lungs. Right, let's rotate this knee in. Rotate the knee in. Open out that hip joint. You're taking your hip joint through its full range of motion. It's something we don't do very often, and it's really useful to do this. Inhale the leg away. Exhale, back up. And then 1 more. That's it, just mobilizing those hip joints nicely. I'm going to move on to something called hip rolls. So I've taken that block from behind my head. My legs are like train tracks. My spine is neutral. I'm going to roll up through my spine here, okay? So I take a breath in to prepare. As I breathe out, I'm going to rock through my imprint and lift up to a nice full bridge, okay? I'm going to lengthen my knees away, and then I'm going to massage my spine back down. Such a lovely feeling. I love this one. Okay, breathe in through the nose. As you breathe out, rock back through your pelvis. Squeeze your glutes and lift up to a bridge. Inhale, lengthen the knees away. Exhale, roll down through those vertebrae, massaging your spine. We'll go for a couple more. Inhaling, exhale, roll through. Try and feel that you're lifting one vertebrae at a time. And as you melt them down, you're placing one down at a time. It's a really good way to articulate through your spine. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, exhale, roll up and lift through. Okay. Inhale, lengthen those knees away from you. Exhale, rolling down, massaging those vertebrae through. Okay, lovely. We're going to move on onto your hands and knees. I've got some nice moves here. So onto your hands and knees, wrists are under shoulders, spine is in neutral, neck is aligned with your thoracic, knees are hip distance apart. Let's go for some protraction and retraction of those shoulder blades. As you inhale, feel like you're pushing the mat away. As you exhale, contract and retract those shoulder blades, okay? Inhale, push the mat away. Exhale, retract the shoulder blades. It's a really good thing to try and connect to those muscles that work your shoulder blades because they work separately to the rest of the spine. Inhale, pushing the mat away, and exhale, retracting those shoulder blades. It's a smaller movement than you might actually think. We're trying to avoid going into the cat stretch. Okay, so we're just looking at moving those shoulder blades. That's nice. Now we've mobilized those. We're just going to do something called spine release here. You're going to take your left hand, okay, and you're going to thread, it's like thread the needle. You're going to thread this through. You're going to bend that supporting arm, and you're going to look towards your fingers. And then you're going to come back and place the hand back down. So it's an inhale to prepare, and an exhale, rotate through, getting a lovely rotational stretch here. And inhale and exhale to return. Let's go for 2 more on this side. So rotate through. And then return. And then 1 more on this side. So rotate through, bending that supporting elbow, looking towards your fingers, feeling a really lovely stretch there. I'm just going to do it on the other side. So we've got 4 more to do. Lift the right hand, bend through, rotate. Ooh, it's a very nice feeling, this one. And then return. Okay, inhale, prepare, keeping that abdominals lifted, keeping the pelvic floor lifted, exhaling away. 2 more on this side. Inhale, exhale, rotate through, looking towards your fingers. Feeling that really nice rotational stretch through the spine. 1 more. Inhale, exhale, return. And we're going to finish with the cat stretch, which is another lovely stretch here, okay? So you're going to lift the middle of your spine up towards the ceiling. So inhale to prepare. Everything starts neutral. Exhale. Lift up towards the ceiling, flexing through the spine. Inhale, try and increase that flexion, which is lovely. Exhale, soften back through the spine, rippling back to neutral. Again, inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, increase that stretch. Exhale, soften back through, opening out the glutes. Okay, couple more. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift. Squeezing the glutes, letting the head drop down. Inhale, exhale, soften back, coming back to neutral. We're going for one more. Inhale, exhale, lift, inhale, and exhale to soften back. We're going to sit you back into what's called a shell stretch now. Take the arms down, release the pressure in the spine, take a breath in as you breathe out. Bring yourself back up. So I've taken you through a warm-up now, the beginner's warm-up, and you'll be ready to move on to one of those beginner's sessions. You've mobilized your joints, you've mobilized your vertebrae and articulated through those vertebrae, and you should be ready now to move on. In today's session, we're going to work towards having a flexible spine. So Joseph Pilates' famous saying that you are as young as your spine is flexible. And that's what we're looking to work towards today. So at the end of this session, you're going to feel much looser within your spine. You're going to have more flexibility and you're going to feel more freely able to move. So that's what we're looking to work towards today. We're going to start lying down, so on our back, supine, and with a block behind your head if you feel you need one. I do use one behind my head. Lying down, knees bent, feet hip distance apart, and you've got your legs like train tracks and your spine neutral, so that lovely S shape in your spine. I'm going to just start with some arm movements. Move my little head block there. We're going to take the arms up towards the ceiling, and we're going to do some windmill arms, okay? So we're just going to get those shoulders moving at the same time. So you've got your spine nice and neutral. You're having a little lift up on the pelvic floor. Okay, so we're going to take the right arm up above the head and the left arm down by your side. So breathing in. And as you breathe out, you're going to circle both arms, right arm coming down to your hip and left arm going up above the head. And then they're going to reach back up to the ceiling, okay? So then we're going to reverse this movement, okay? So I'm just coming down so you can see me a bit better. Okay, so now we're going to reverse that movement. So the right arm's going up above the head and the left arm down by your side, and then circle them round as you exhale. So using that breath as well, feeling like you're pressing down through mud. Inhale, lift the arms up, and then exhale as they reach away from you. Circle them out and round. It's a bit of a mind-body workout, this one, it's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy, as people say to me. So inhaling and then exhaling, circling those arms round. Okay, we'll reverse it again and we'll go for one more. Okay, so we're going to take the arms down, one arm up above the head and circle them round, bringing them back up and then down by your sides. Now, something we don't do very often is just let that neck roll. So we're going to roll your head from side to side, dropping it out, just getting a little bit of flexibility in those spinal muscles at the top of where your neck is. So just let that head drop out from side to side, then take the eye gaze up and the eye gaze down. Eye gaze up and eye gaze down. And let's reverse that. Reverse the eye gaze. You might feel some cracks and creaks in your neck, but that's not a problem. We're just releasing sometimes little air pockets get stuck within your joints, and that's just helping to release them. So just rocking that neck from side to side. Okay, and then another move, a little move we do within Pilates, it's a very small movement, but it's about head nod, it's called. So basically, you're dropping your chin down and then lifting the head back up. So you inhale, dropping the chin. Exhale, let the eyes go back towards the ceiling. So I imagine my eye gaze going from a red traffic light down to the green. And it's just helping to lengthen the back of the neck. So something again that we don't do very often, and myself included, my head sits forward of my shoulders slightly, so I'm just working on trying to draw that back and engaging my deep neck flexors within my neck. Okay, so another really nice move to help your spine is just to do some knee hugs. So laying on your back, a nice gentle movement of hugging your knees into your chest can be a really lovely release. Okay, so we'll just have a little bit of a few knee hugs here. We'll go for 4 more, so just 2 more on each leg. Hug those knees in. It's imprinting my lumbar spine into the mat. Okay, I'm going to remove the block from behind my head because I'm going to be lifting my hips up. And we're going to do some spine curls. So my legs are like train tracks, my spine is in neutral, but we're going to roll through our spine and lift up into the bridge. So inhale to prepare. As you exhale, roll through your spine and lift up to a full bridge. Again, inhale, lengthen those knees away from you, and then massage your spine down into the mat, 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale and exhale, roll up, squeezing the glutes, getting that stretch through the front of the thighs. Lengthen the knees away from you and roll down. Really lovely feeling, massaging your spine into the mat. Inhale, so we're stabilizing our shoulders at the same time, and exhale, squeeze up into the bridge. Inhale, lengthen the knees away from you, and exhale, roll down. Such a nice feeling. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, roll up through your vertebrae. Pause at the top, lengthen as you inhale, and then exhale, melt down and massage your spine. So we've been moving our vertebrae, trying to focus on connecting with them independently. Lengthen the knees away from you, feeling a lengthening, and then exhale, melting down all the way through. Okay, so staying on your back for a minute. If you do want a block behind your head, feel free to grab that block. So I'm going to do a spine release move, which is just going to take the knees over to the side. If you know you're okay with your lumbar spine, you can float your legs up into tabletop and do this in a tabletop position, but I'm going to show you with the feet down. Okay, so you're going to inhale with your knees pointing up towards the ceiling. You can take your arms out to the side. As you exhale, let those knees drop over to the side. You keep both shoulders in touch with the mat the whole time. Take a breath in with the knees over, and then use your tummy muscles to bring those knees up to the midline. And then we're going to go to the right. So inhaling, exhale, take the knees over. You're getting that really nice rotational stretch down your side here. Take a breath in and then use those obliques to bring those knees back up to the midline. We're going to repeat that. So inhale with the knees up towards the ceiling. Exhale, taking those knees. Now we're focusing on trying to keep our knees level. So imagine you've got a board in front of your knees. So you're really ending up lifting through that side of the hip. Breathe in and then use those tummy muscles to bring your knees back up. Let's go to the right again. So inhale here, exhale, take the knees over, shoulder blades staying in touch with the mat the whole time. Take a breath in and then breathe out as you take those knees up. I'm going to show you that one with the legs into tabletop. So you imprint your lumbar spine and float one leg up at a time. Okay, I've got my arms out to help with stability here. So you're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to take those knees over to the side. I can't go as far as you can see, otherwise I'm going to fall. But inhale there and exhale. This is much more abdominal work here. You'll feel that much more in the abdominals. So inhale, exhale, take those knees over to the right. That's it. Inhale there and then really focus on those abdominals, bringing those knees up to the midline. I'm going to go for one more on either side. So inhale there, exhale, take those knees over, stabilize with them over, taking a breath in, keeping those shoulders down the whole time. Exhale, take the knees back up. We're going to go to the right again. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in through the nose and out, bringing those knees up, okay? And then placing one foot down at a time. You're coming back to neutral. We're going to work on a little bit of forward flexion now. So we're going to do that ab prep exercise, okay? So arms start down by your side. Legs are bent and feet down flat onto the mat. Spine is in neutral. And we're going to keep that in neutral the whole time with that little gap behind our lumbar spine. So as we did earlier, I'm going to inhale to head nod, dropping my eye gaze down. As I exhale, I'm going to flex forward, looking towards my knees. I'm keeping neutral, so that's my little check there. Keeping neutral. Inhale to stay and exhale, coming back down again. Let's repeat that. Inhale, head nod. Exhale, flex up and forward, keeping spine neutral. Inhale to stay. Exhale down. We'll go for 4 more, okay? Inhale to head nod. Slide your rib cage towards your pelvis here. So you're really working on those abdominals without putting any strain on the back. And controlling it back down. Okay, inhale, head nod. Exhale. Up. Inhale to stabilize in neutral. And exhale down. A couple more. Head nod. Flex up and forward. Stabilize those shoulders as well at the same time. We're not over protracting, trying to help the movement. They're just floating by our sides. Inhale, exhale. Return down. One more. Head nod as you breathe in. Breathing out. There we go. Inhale to stay and stabilize. And exhale down. Good. Okay, bringing yourself up to sitting. If you need to, you can hug one knee and help yourself roll up. Grab some water if you need to. It's good to always keep topping up. Okay. We're going to do another lovely spinal stretch here. So this is called spine stretch forward. I'm going to grab this block. If when you're sitting in this position, you feel that there is a lot of strain on your lumbar spine, it could well be because you've got tight hamstrings. There's a few ways that you can alleviate this. So you can cross the legs, which does help sometimes, or if you've got a block or a pillow, a foam cushion or something, that can really help because it lifts the hips up and alleviates those hamstrings a little bit, okay? So we're going to do spine stretch forward. So we're trying to sit with our spine neutral. The arms are down by your side, eye gaze straight in front. Breathe in through the nose, and as you breathe out, drop your chin and flexing forward. You'll really feel it down the backs of the legs here, okay? Inhale, stack yourself back up, draw those shoulders back and down, zip up through those abdominals, and repeat. So exhale, forward, that's it. Inhale, stacking yourself back up, that's it. Draw those shoulders back and down. We'll go for 4 more because this is a lovely spine stretch. Great for those hamstrings. Inhale, use those abdominals to help stack you back up. Really focus in on that feeling. Exhale. forward. Inhale, draw yourself back up, eye gaze in front of you, shoulders back and down. Just start feeling that posture that you want to have. Another couple. Are you going a little bit further each time? Stack yourself back up, and one more. That's it, and then draw yourself back up. Lovely, nice bit of spinal flexion there. We're going to go over onto your front and work in extension. So we've been doing quite a lot of flexion there, and we're now going to come down and work in extension. So breaststroke prep 1. You have your hands resting down, your forearms resting down just lightly. You engage your abdominals, so pull them back away from the mat, and your eye gaze is down, so your chin is tucked. We're trying to switch off the glutes, which is a real conscious effort. Okay, so stabilize those shoulder blades. And as you breathe in, lift the chest. And as you breathe out, control it back down again. Breathing in, lifting the chest off of the mat, keeping your bottom rib in touch with the mat the whole time, pulling those abdominals back away from the mat. This might be a smaller movement than you'd like it to be, but don't feel you have to press through the hands. This is all about connecting with those muscles in the top part of your spine. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Again, switching off the glutes. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Something to watch for is that you don't try and take your eye gaze too far forward, extending the neck. That's it. I try never to look further than the top of the mat and controlling it down, keeping those shoulder blades suckered to the back of the rib cage. I'm going for one more. And down. We're going to do something called breaststroke prep 2, which is, you can, if you needed something to rest your forehead on, you can have a little block or a little pillow. So I will just talk to you like this for a minute, and then I'll put my head into position. So your arms are down by your side, but you're going to turn the palms to face the body. Okay? Your legs can either be together or slightly apart, depending on how comfortable they feel. You rest your forehead down. Now we're thinking about making a dart, like becoming a pencil that we're going to lift off of the floor. So a few movements here. As you inhale, retract the shoulder blades. As you exhale, lift and hover like a long, low line across the floor. Inhale, try and reach your toes away from you and the crown of the head. And then exhale, let everything control back down, including letting those shoulders relax. Okay, we'll do that again. Inhale, retract the shoulder blades. Exhale, lift and hover like a long, low line. Inhale to lengthen even further. Still keep those abdominals pulled back from the floor. And exhale, control it back down. Going for another 3. Inhale, retract the shoulder blades. Exhale, lift and hover like a dart through the air. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, down. 2 more. Draw those shoulders back as you breathe in. Lift and hover, stabilizing there. Inhale to lengthen, exhale down. And 1 more. Retract the shoulder blades, really stabilizing those shoulder blades in their neutral retracted position, lengthening through and controlling it down. Definitely feeling ready for a shell stretch after those ones. So sit yourself back onto your heels, flexing forward. So we're just releasing the pressure that we've just built up by doing all that extension work. Okay, a few deep breaths in to really release the spine. In through the nose, and then on your next exhale, you're going to stack yourself back up. I'm going to stay on your front and just work the glutes a little bit because we've been working the upper part of your spine, but I just want to also activate the glutes. So coming back down, moving that block away. This time you can cross your hands over and rest your head down on your forehead. I'll talk you through it. So you're going to bend the knees and place the heels together. So your knees are apart, but your heels are together. And just by squeezing these heels together, we can activate the glutes. Okay, so lying down, trying to relax the shoulders as much as you can. Taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, squeeze your heels together, activating those glutes. Inhale, release the pressure. And exhale, squeeze. Inhale, release. And exhale, squeeze, activating those glutes. Pull the abdominals back from the floor as well. And we're going to go for 6 more. So 6 more nice squeezes of the heels. And as you release, breathing out. Good. Relaxing the shoulders. Go 3 more. 3. And 2. Good. 1. Getting right into those hamstrings there as well. Oh, lovely. Okay, let's have another little shell stretch. So sit back down onto your heels and flex forward and release that pressure in the spine again. Taking a breath in, and then as you breathe out, stacking yourself back up. Lovely. Okay, let's continue working the glutes and go back down onto our side. This time we're going to do some clams. If you are happy to be up on your elbow, if this feels comfortable, this is a really good position to do them in. If that's not comfortable, you can come down and rest your head onto your arm. Okay, so hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, waist is lifted. Make sure that we're not sinking our side into the mat, but we're engaged. And we're going to just take the knees apart. The feet are together and lifted, and you're squeezing. So exhale. Good. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. Keep that waist lifted. Keep those shoulders stacked. And remembering we're pointing our hips forward the whole time. A couple more. Now you're going to hold those knees apart and little pulses. We're going to go for 8 pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. And release that down. Excellent. Okay. Let's turn onto your back. And we're going to do some shoulder bridge this time. So this is slightly different to our spine curls. When we spine curl, we roll all the way through our spine, massaging those vertebrae down. When we hip lift, so when we do the hip lift, we literally try and keep the spine neutral. And we lift, and as we lower, I like to think that there's weights on the back of my hips taking it down. So I've got that little gap still behind my lumbar spine. So let's have a go. Okay, so inhale to prepare. As you exhale, it's just a real squeeze of the glutes to lift up into the shoulder bridge, okay? As you inhale, imagine those weights pulling the backs of the hips down. I'm not going to touch, so you literally come and brush the floor and then lift up and squeeze. Inhale down, don't quite touch. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale down. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Really nice glute workout, this one. Inhale down. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Keeping your legs like train tracks. So that's just avoiding the knees dropping out to the side as we lift and squeeze. Inhale down. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale down. Exhale, lift and squeeze. We're going for 4 more. Really nice strengthening one for those glutes. Good. And 2. Going for one more. And the same thing, we're going to hold it up here and pulse. So holding in that lovely bridge, we're going to pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower down. Lovely. Let's just go back over to do the other clams. So we're spinning around. Down onto your sides again, hips are stacked. And you've got your shoulders stacked, you're pulling your waist belt in, okay? And we're lifting and opening those knees apart, okay? So, like I said, you can support your head with your hand, or it's okay to do it up on your elbow as well. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A couple more, and then we've got those pulses to do. So hold the knees apart, and you're going to pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release that down. We're going to go once more for the shoulder bridge. Okay, so again, legs like train tracks, arms down by your side, and feet flat onto the floor. So inhale to prepare, exhale, 2 wires, lifting the hips straight up. Inhale, lowering down, but don't quite touch. Exhale, lift and squeeze. 10 of these. Lower and lift and squeeze. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and lift and squeeze the glutes. That's it. Bringing up so you've got a nice straight line from the shoulders through to the knees. 4 more. Down and lift. And a few more. 3, 2, and then holding up again. Hold up at the top and then squeezes for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower those hips down. Let's have a nice glute stretch, just because we've just done quite a lot of nice glute work. So popping your left foot onto your right knee. You can let your left knee drop out to the side. Thread your hands around and pull that right thigh in towards you. You're going to feel that stretch in those glutes now. So just holding that stretch. A few deep breaths in and release. Good, in and release. Then we're going to change over legs. So right foot onto left knee. Let your right knee drop out to the side. Thread your hands around your left thigh and pull that in towards you. Just releasing off that glute. Inhale and exhale. A couple more deep breaths in. And one more. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. And if you can, rock up to sitting. And we're just going to do a few shoulder shrugs just to finish off. So you're going to lift those shoulders up towards your ears and then drop them down really heavy. Up and lowering down. Up and lowering down. Good. One more. Lift them and then pop them down where you want them to stay for the rest of the day. Okay, and you're all done for today.